Hello everyone, Vibrator, and today I'm going to be making a video talking about Eldar and how I think they're never going to be balanced in the rest of EC's history. And so first off, I want to make a couple things clear. I'm not going in this video saying that Eldar are either underpowered or overpowered, so don't accuse me of saying anything like that. I'm simply just saying why they are always either going to be overpowered or underpowered. And my reasoning is, they're too different. Like, they have 7 classes. All the classes are very different from the counterparts of the Space Marines, Chaos, and Orcs. And even some of my rules, you can even sort of apply them to Orcs, but not nearly as severe as with Eldar. And so I'm going to go in depth with each class, or most of the classes at least, and talk about why they're so different and why they're never going to be equal, or they're never going to be equal to Space Marines. They're always going to be better or worse. So let's get started. Alright guys, I'm going to be starting with Scorpions and Banshees. They're going to be in their own little section, because they're kind of very similar in a way, because they both sort of fulfill the same role. Now I know they are different gameplay wise, like Scorpions can cloak, Banshees can scream, but they're both melee. Like if you think of Space Marines, think of a ground assault with a shield. He can cover damage while they're going into cap a point, and a JPA, the other melee, would fly in and kill Devastators or something like that. They fulfill different roles, but Scorpions and Banshees, they kind of fulfill the same. And they're just simply not different enough. So, because of that, one of them is always going to be better than the other one. Like, pretty much always, unless they make major changes to the core gameplay with one of them or both of them. As of right now, Scorpions are pretty much received as a better one, because they are just tankier, and, lash swords are pretty cool. Now, if I were to fix this, I'm not saying this is the best way, this is just the way I would personally do it, is I would say make Banshees better than Scorpions. Simple fact that I think Scorpions would be a lot more fun if they were a bit more gimmicky. They're just a class with a cloak and pretty, like poisonous damage, and they're kind of like your dedicated decapper class, which no like race really has, and that would be kind of a cool thing. I don't know, that would be how I would want it. But I don't even know if that would technically be the best way to do it. Wouldn't even know how to rework the core gameplay to actually fix it around. And I don't even think Behavior can with only a 3-man team without devoting way too much time into actually doing that. But anyways, I'm moving on to the next one. Alright guys, next class I want to talk about are the Swooping Hawks. Now, they're different than all the other JPAs in the aspect that they have guns, or rifles, and they sort of fulfill the same role. Like, they both are backlines at assaults, kill Devastators and stuff like that. They float up and they're backline. They're supposed to get in places that other assaults can't. So, they kill all the vulnerable Devastators. They can both play AV. Like, Hawks have their stun grenades that work on vehicles, and you can technically have a fist on a JPA, but it's sort of good because you're mobile, but you're also really easy to kill. I personally think that in this regard, the Eldar one would be better, but I'm not saying it's broken. I'm just saying I probably think it would. And the thing is that Eldar, they're faster. If you use a flying exploit, or just even when you don't use a flying exploit, you'll go way longer distances, way faster than a JPA would. But here's the thing, that they're less effective at killing Devastators. You're less effective at being that assault. They're a lot more squishy, or I think they are anyways. I haven't checked those stats, but they probably are because they're Eldar. So, how is it balanced? Is it broken? Is nerf Swooping Hawks? No. Yes, maybe. They're different. You can't really tell. That's the thing. That's the whole point of this video. They're too different to be able to balance equally. Now we move on to Fire Dragons. Okay, I don't want people to calm down on this one because a lot of people already know my thoughts on Fire Dragons. Just please hear me out. They are still different. Okay, they kill vehicles at around the same pace, but dragons can also do things like suicide. A lot of Space Marine ones can, unless you're doing it as a Devastator, Space Marines AVs can capture points too. Their Space Marine AVs are tankier, but Eldar ones are faster, so which one is better there is up to you. And Eldar vehicles are a lot better to maneuver. Like, Orc ones are hilariously bad to maneuver. Rhinos are okay, and Wave Serpents are, phenomenal. They're great at moving around, Like, if you get enclosed by like 2 wave serpents, if you're like a rhino, you're done. If it's vice versa and you're in the wave serpent and you're being enclosed by 2 rhinos, unless they have a grav cannon, you could get out like easily. So, they are different. I'm just saying. Now I get it. Fire dragons weren't all that different technically, except for wave serpents, really. But now we start getting into some more juicy stuff like Dark Reapers. Now, as far as I know, you could technically count shuriken cannons to about equivalents of heavy bolters. I'm pretty sure they're different, but I haven't checked, so I'm just gonna say they are. So I'm not wrong, I guess. But the thing is that they have Reaper launchers, and they have to have these because they don't have an equivalent to the las cannon. But it's also their equivalent to the plasma cannon, so they merged 2 guns into one, and then made it cost less than both the plasma cannon and the las cannon. I believe it costs less than the plasma cannon. I actually don't know that for sure. But even if it costs like the same, it would still be better. Well, sort of, because it has a smaller AoE. It has a different firing mode, but it's better versus vehicles. That's the thing. This is what I mean. It's different. It's too different. And I think this is mostly because of the lore, and obviously they have to apply everything by GW. But you can start to see where I'm getting at. They're too different to be able to balance. It's always either going to be worse or better, either way. And now I'm going to start sort of talking about Eldar in general, because Warlocks are similar enough to Sorcerers. I do believe they're a bit worse, but I don't know that for sure. Don't quote me on that. And Avengers are going to kind of apply the same logic I'm going to say here anyways. And it's just that Eldar in general, just all their classes are different just like by their baselines. Eldar are faster, but they're squishier, and they have higher damage most of the time. For pretty much most of their core damage dealing classes, yes, they do have more damage. Like, Twin Shuriken will do more damage at a Storm Bolter, but you'll die faster holding a Twin Shuriken. And is that balanced? One of them has to be better than the other one. And it's hard to tell which one that is. I'm not going to say which one that is, but one of them is. That's the thing. Like Eldar melees are faster, but they're squishier. Good thing or a bad thing? Swooping Hawks, they have guns, so they're faster. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's like, I don't fucking know. And that's why I think they're impossible to balance, because they're so different from Orcs, Space Marines, and Chaos that you can't really compare them to them. And I'm not saying I'm saying they're never going to be balanced, but I'm not saying they're impossible to be balanced. I'm saying they're never going to be balanced because behavior is way too small of a team to actually balance them. Like, efficiently. Like, it's too hard. I'm not trying to call behavior a bad game developer or anything. It'll be really hard to do this and fully balance and make it so it is fair in every GVG. They have a 50% win rate. It'll be very hard to do that. Like, I know a lot of you have your own ideas in comment, but I just don't believe it's ever going to happen because they can't. And it's not impossible. Like games like StarCraft, Brood War, they have 3 races that are pretty different from each other, and the game is considered one of the most perfectly balanced games ever made. So it's not impossible. It's just never going to happen. And I know I've been repeating myself a bit. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any other topics I guess I want to talk about, then leave them in the comments, and I'll coach you in a video. And yeah, that's it. See you guys next time. Please don't get mad at me in the comments. I'm not saying Elder OP. Fuck.